how do the power players, the billionaires of the world, people like Bill and Melinda Gates, Walter, affect how these plans from the papacy and from the UN roll out on a practical scale?
Now, you have a number of billionaires in the world today, not only the Gateses, but there are others. Donald Trump is one of them, and you have Soros, he's another. And all of these billionaires are all involved at this United Nations level. And they're all in this great reset. Now, the ability to become rich in terms of the magnitude of which these people are called rich is not something that happens to everyone. And it's fascinating that they all have the connections. So in other words, they're supposed to be where they're supposed to be because they act as front organizations.
The world is on the brink of a great scientific achievement. A COVID-19 vaccine will likely be ready by early next year. In fact, we'll probably have more than one vaccine ready. These vaccines will allow us to save millions of lives. They'll also have another enormous benefit. They'll allow us to develop a plan for the world to globally eliminate COVID-19. To achieve this goal of global elimination, we need three things: the capacity to produce billions of vaccines, the funding to pay for them, and the systems to deliver them everywhere. A vaccine can make COVID-19 a preventable disease, and no one should die of a preventable disease simply because the country they live in can't afford the vaccine. But you don't even have to care about the equity view to see the problem with the rich country only scenario. The only way to eliminate the threat of this disease somewhere is to eliminate it everywhere. The solution is not shaming the rich countries that are doing the natural thing of wanting to protect their people. The solution is to vastly increase the manufacturing capacity so we can cover everyone as soon as possible. It's been amazing to see these private companies agreeing to expand drug-making capacity by using each other's factories. We have a number of agreements like this, but we need even more, especially for the vaccine. That's why I'm thrilled today to announce a new joint agreement signed this morning by 16 pharmaceutical companies and the Gates Foundation. In this agreement, the companies commit to, among other things, scaling up manufacturing at an unprecedented speed and making sure that approved vaccines reach broad distribution as early as possible.
They're not really individuals who are just interested in philanthropy and human well-being. These people are connected at the highest level through the societies that they belong to, and the wealth that they apparently have in their hands is not their wealth at all, in my humble opinion. This is wealth that is placed into the hands of these individuals so that they can act as front organizations and take the heat. Now, if you take Bill Gates, is he taking a lot of heat from the anti-vaxxers? Is he taking a lot of heat from a Protestant doctrine about the mark of the beast, which in actual fact is not a Protestant doctrine at all, but a Jesuit doctrine implanted in Protestantism? And he is like a lightning rod taking this heat when behind the scenes the puppet master is really running the show and is introducing a false doctrine of a false antichrist, a false mark of the beast, attaching it to an individual who is super rich, making the divide between the rich and the poor even more prominent, and then displaying them as a philanthropist, as someone who wants to benefit mankind, when in actual fact the data shows that there is a totally different agenda. So these billionaires are not powers in their own right. these billionaires that now fund the United Nations because rogue nations like the United States under Donald Trump have withdrawn their supposed funding of the United Nations, and these people are standing in the gap. This is part of the plan. This is a lightning rod strategy to take the issue and the heat of the real puppet masters behind the scenes. And you have rightly said that they all have these connections to Rome because they all sit in forums at Rome discussing these issues. And that cannot happen by chance.